Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry, it is Saturday. I'm getting this video out a day later than I have the other few weeks. My goal is to try to get out to you every Friday, but sometimes life gets in the way and that didn't work out. Anyways, this week I wanted to spend just a few minutes talking about Perry's theory. That's what we're working on this week. We're going to be looking at the movie Dead Poet Society. And just wanted to run through a couple things as we think of what does it mean in terms of these different stages, in terms of dualism and multiplicity, relativism and commitment, and all these sort of 9 sort of areas that make that up. So first of all, when you think of, and again, I'm talking specifically of traditional undergraduate students, when you think of an 18 or a 19-year-old, it's not unusual that they might come to college being a dualistic thinker, because for a huge part of their life up until this point, they have had an authority figure telling them this is the way things are, this is what you do, and in some ways this is what you're going to do. And that person could be a parent, it could be a coach, a mentor, but all that to say their life has been heavily influenced by authority figures, and in certain ways even their the structure of their life, like when they go, where they go, how they go to places, all has been sort of covered by authority figures. And so they're used to looking to people in authority to give them direction. The move to college, however, can be challenging because that changes. They might develop new relationships with different dynamics, with peers or with a faculty member. And as a result, they're being asked to maybe think for themselves for, some ways inside of a classroom that they haven't been before, outside of a social situation where they haven't really had the opportunity. I've heard it said by some students that college is really confusing because at times it can feel like all anybody wants in college is the right answers. And then other times it feels like no one in college will give me the right answers. And so this time of movement from dualism to multiplicity can be really, really frustrating because it just seems so inconsistent to students. And as a result, they can go back and forth. They can ping pong around between dualism, multiplicity, and maybe even moving into relativism. It really might depend on the context. They might be a dualistic thinker inside the classroom, but in terms of relationships and other environments that they're in, it might look different. So all that to say, college can be a confusing time, especially at the start of college. With timing and experience, however, students hopefully will begin to gain confidence in how they see the world and ultimately begin to make their own decisions. And this can happen in any number of ways. It could be, a change in religious or political ideology, belief, even participation from their family of origin that their parents maybe don't feel comfortable with, or that they haven't felt comfortable with and they begin to move away from. When we talked earlier in the year or earlier in the semester about emerging adulthood, this process of differentiation, that's kind of what this is about. And we talked a little bit about faith as one of the ways that can take a major roadway into their thinking. It could also be that they might choose a major or course of study that is different than maybe their high school teacher or their parents said, hey, you should really go into this. And they get into college and they're like, well, I don't think I need to listen to that person because they don't really know really who I am. And I really feel drawn or called to this, and this is a little bit more who I want to be. So there might be some changes in areas of interest, academic interests as well, maybe being different by what was encouraged by others. So I think it's sort of the importance for student affairs professionals, sort of the takeaway of Perry's theory that we're looking at this week in the movie example, but also the others in chapter 14 is sometimes, at least I know for me with students I work with, I can have this tendency to want to give them the right answer. Like, okay, I've seen this before. I know how this is going to play out. So here's what I think, this is what you should do. And I think it's a good caution for us to just remember our goal and our role isn't to give students the right answer, even though we might believe we might know what's right or best for them. I think rather than telling a student what to think, it's important for us to be part of the process of teaching them how to think, because ultimately that's what will serve them best. And to the degree that it's helpful, the theories that are in this week's reading are just attempts to sort of explain how the process of thinking and developing mindset takes place. And so not to say that one is superior than the others, or this is like a roadmap and I got to make sure I push people through these stages and I got to get them to commitment by the end of college. No, it's a process for everybody. But hopefully, again, these models are helpful in those conversations. So that's it. If you have questions or whatever, please reach out. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.